Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. So looking at today's economic calendar, as we always do, this week it's a little bit quieter than usual starting off, but then we'll get into more excitement towards the end of the week, obviously. But just looking at today, 10:55 Euro-German manufacturing number coming out. Maybe it'll move the euro a little bit. And then we have a U.S. manufacturing number coming out later today at 5 o'clock South African time. Let's start off with the EURUSD this morning. EURUSD trading pretty much sideways, trading flat at 124.45. Remember, we discussed the base of it at 123.50-ish level, and the upper handle of it at 125.24-ish level. So we're really right in the middle of that. So I would say we're consolidating at this level until we see some sort of impetus to move up or down. So maybe this week we'll make a deciding factor. Maybe we'll have a rally towards the end of the year for the EURUSD, which may still come. Let's keep an eye out on some of the indicators. The PMI number coming out later today, maybe a telltale sign for a string of different information will come out during the month. Keep in mind that there's also non-farm payroll at the end of the week, so these things may have a tremendous amount of impact. They're not going to tell it to you right away, but they're going to give you strings of information, or maybe we'll be able to capitalize on towards the end of the week. So that's looking at the EURUSD. Looking at USD Japanese yen, we're really on top levels here at 118, really just turning up and selling a little bit, and turning up and selling a little bit. This thing could still go up to 120. I mean, you see we're on an 8-hour chart, even on a daily chart, we're on all-time highs. Looking at a weekly chart, still all-time highs. Looking at a monthly, looking at a monthly, we're looking at 120. 120, I would say, is the next resistance level, 120-ish, let's say. 121, 120-ish, let's say. This thing has come a long way in the past year and a half, as we can see, from at the end of 2012 until today, where you see it's like a rocket star, okay? These levels are unprecedented. It's also a combination of what's going on in Japan and the dollar getting a little bit stronger, or other currencies forcing the dollar to get a little bit stronger. Looking at the GBPUSD, still dead in the water, sold off. The dollar is still showing some sort of strength. Here, looking at a weekly chart, we're just about getting into previous resistance level. Maybe this will be support at 156, and maybe we'll have a little bit of a rally towards the end of the year, and try to dress up the GBP so it doesn't look as bad year to date. Looking at the GBP Japanese yen, though, as we can see, it's dead on its highs. Okay, and looking at the daily chart, you can see it's really, really dead on its highs. It may be consolidating here, maybe due for a little bit of a retraction right here. But I would keep an eye on it for some sort of a retraction, because it looks like it's losing some steam. Maybe you could make some money on the way down here. Japanese yen may be getting a little bit stronger towards the end of the year. You got to look for the end of the year rally, so it's got to be something that'll got to be worth your while to trade. So if the Japanese yen does rally towards the end of the year, we could see sell-off both in the USD Japanese yen and also in the GBP Japanese yen. So we'll see the GBP getting a little bit stronger, getting a little bit weaker versus the Japanese yen in both the currencies for the Japanese yen. Looking at gold, gold had a nice spike up earlier today, as you can see. Maybe that's due to what's going on in China. A Chinese number came out. Really not much to talk about, because looking at the daily, of course, we're still down from our highs of 1800, and we're just consolidating between these levels. And like I mentioned before, we're trading between 1150 and 1180-ish. So as long as we're still consolidating within these levels, I think we're still trading in a range. I don't see any sort of impetus. Maybe we'll have a double bottom here to take us up. We may even go further down next year, towards the beginning of next year, seeing how the markets are going to go maybe to 18,000 and beyond. You may have a sharper sell-off in the gold that's going to affect the gold. Looking at the Dow Jones, obviously, Dow Jones just churning up. this is from the summer, from October, and this is November. Okay, so November had a really positive month into territory that was all-time highs. We're just inching closer to 18,000. Again, my call is that maybe we'll sell off to 1770, 17,700, and we'll take it up to 1800. We may just churn within this area and then take it up to 18,000. But again, my goal is that the Dow Jones will hit 18,000 this year and further. Looking at crude oil, we had mentioned this last week, and lo and behold, it happened. The OPEC meeting had last week, and we broke 71.72, and look at what happened. Breached 70, and now it's trading at $64 a barrel. That's a huge number for the price of oil. We haven't been in these levels since 2008, as you can see here, 2009-ish level, which is a big retracement. Okay, this is obviously the debacle of what happened in 2008 and 2009, and we're right back at these levels. So this is really a tremendous retracement for the price of oil per barrel. It should be interesting how some of these OPEC countries are going to be reacting to this, obviously moving forward. But this is a huge move down. I don't, could we take it further down? Okay, looking at the price of oil. This is a long-term monthly price of oil from 2005, let's say. Yeah, I guess we could take it back down to 40, but my guess is we're going to settle somewhere around the $60 range, or we may just settle around here, and then we're going to rally somewhere in the 80s and 90s. But it might not be so easy. It is a longer trade. It does take longer for it to develop, but as you can see, we are hitting major lows for the price of oil. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.